Do you really need all that expensive gear to catch your best quality bass? I'm gonna argue with you and say no, you absolutely do not. Do I believe that there is tournament grade stuff that if you're out there grinding it out every single day, tournament level gear, tackle? Yes, exactly. But for just your, run of the mill, I'd say even above average fisherman, I'd say that I'm more than just your weekend warrior angler. I mean, I'm on the water constantly. I'm fishing tournaments, like local tournaments, nothing huge. I'm an aggressive fisherman, let's put it that way. But I just want to show you what I just caught my PB off of. I just caught my PB off of this setup right here. This is a Abu Garcia Max Z 40 reel that I literally bought off the Abu Garcia website for sale. It was on sale last year for like 20 bucks. This rod is an Abu Garcia Veritas that I bought used from the Rod Locker for $69. So I got less than 100 bucks in this setup, and I'm running 15-pound reaction tackle braid on here, like $12.99 braid. I do have a nice BKK hook, and I'm running a Yum. I caught it off of a Yum, I think they call them a dinger, zinger, whatever they call the Yum stick bait, black and blue flake. And I bought these, like a 50 pack of these for like 10 bucks at Bass Pro Shop. Very much, compared to what's out there on the market, very much budget. There's guys that would be scared to even try to attempt to catch anything off of this. And I had no problem wrangling in a 7+ pound bass just yesterday, my personal best. And I'm talking about, he drug my kayak. I was in this creek on the back of the lake. This creek fed this lake, and I was off in that creek. I'm talking about laydowns everywhere, and this joker spun my kayak around. He drug it from one end of the creek to the other. Never once did it ever feel like it pushed my gear to the limits. I mean, this reel handled it, this rod handled it, the braid handled it, the hook handled it, and I landed a really nice bass. Now, granted, I got some nicer stuff. This is probably the nicest reel and rod setup that I have right here. Even though this is a Shimano SLX XT, it's just that $149 reel, arc rod. So I bought both of these at separate times from the Rod Locker. The Rod Locker sells a lot of good used gear. It's mainly an online store, but they do have a brick and mortar, and I actually work out of Evansville, so I stop in there and talk to them guys all the time. And so it's one of my favorite places to buy, to get my tackle and my rods and reels. So I bought this brand new, but I bought this Arc Invoker rod U. 250 bucks in this setup right here, rod and reel. That's the most expensive thing. I'll show you one of my favorite rod and reels that I throw, and I throw a lot. I throw all my chatterbaits off of this $50 Abu Garcia. Which one is this? Is this the? This is just the Max X. Now they got a newer version called the Black X, I think is what it's called. 2-piece rod, 6'6" rod. I think this is medium action. Yeah, medium action, 6'6" rod. Like, I don't even know if this is even like 6-to-1 gear ratio, not very fast. I'm running 30-pound braid on it, and this is my chatterbait crankbait setup. Perfect for me, works great. I've landed a lot of 3 and 4 pounders off of this setup right here. Never has this gear felt like it was going to fail me. And I bought this on Abu Garcia's website, like on sale for 50 bucks, and I actually bought 2 of them, so I have 2 of these. Another one of my favorite setups is I have this St. Croix Mojo Bass. I think this is a 6'6" medium heavy rod. Yeah, and I got this the Cast King Spartacus 2, $50 reel. I did some wheeling and dealing and traded for this rod. I mean, it was a used rod, and I love this thing. I love this thing for anything moving, like top water. I'm running monofilament, I think 14-pound monofilament on there for top water, buzz baits, different stuff like that. Another one of my setups, this is in that same deal, I got this Mojo Bass St. Croix. I think this is medium heavy, 7'1", fast action. I got an old school Abu Garcia, 17-pound fluorocarbon, and I run a lot of swim baits, different stuff like that on this. That's just some jigs. When I'm flipping, I might throw jigs with this setup here, but most of the time I'm throwing my jigs on this one here. It's a 7'3", the one I got the Shimano on. Especially if I'm going, you know, flipping into deep cover grass, stuff like that. Got the 30-pound braid. I've yet to really need anything any bigger than 30-pound braid. The day that I have them breaking off, like I'm not fishing big monsters in Texas, pulling them out of, you know, big wads of grass or weeds or anything like that. For what I need it for, 30-pound is good. It's good and thin. It casts well. Do you need all that? And if I wanted to, I could give you just a showcase of all the bass that I've caught, you know, in the last 2 years. Because actually I took a break from fishing for a long time. I had other things that I was focusing on in life, education, getting my life together, a lot of things, and you know, and finding trying to find a career that would sustain me and my wife and my family. So you know, I've only been back into fishing for the last 2 years, and so, you know, this is buying all gear from scratch. So a lot of stuff I've just had to buy budget, you know. And here's the thing: if you know how to fish, you know how to work drag, you know how to set your stuff up, you can go with subpar stuff. You know what I mean? You don't have to get the $200 reels and the $250 rods in order to drag a 4, 5, and 6-pound bass to your kayak or your boat. You don't have to. Is there advantages to it? Is the technology there? Absolutely. But guys were reeling in giants 30 years ago with technology that is subpar to what I just showed you right here. So however you want to look at it, you know what I'm saying? If you know how to fish, you know how to fish. Sometimes your gear is irrelevant. You know, there's people that's probably caught 5-pounders off of Zebco 33s. So, you know, for whatever it's worth, you know, and that's why I love the Rod Locker. Rod Locker has a wide selection of used rods and used reels. I am usually iffy on buying used reels, but used rods, you can usually tell if they're still in good shape. The eyes are still in good shape. You know, I'm not paying $250 for a rod. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. You know, maybe if one day I made a living off of fishing, I was a pro angler, had sponsorships, all that, yeah, I could see me doing it. But you know, me out here sweating and grinding out, you know, and hustling for my money, and trying to take care of my family, I just simply can't afford $500, $600, $700 rod and reel setups. But it isn't stopping me from catching just as quality of bass as anybody else out there on the water. That is a $20 reel, and with budget reaction tackle braid that I just reeled in my PB, however you want to look at it.